Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'd like to talk to you about why normal diets fail. Listen, we know there's lots of diet programs out there, right? But there are some things that set a diet for failure from the onset. And we have to look at those things and be able to recognize them. And that will help us to choose the right plan for us. And that's what I would like to encourage you to do right now. Let's look at why most normal diets fail, the traditional game plans that are out there for most people. First off, 90% of most dieters fail. Listen, that's kind of a conservative number. I've seen as high as 95%. But what that means is that if you take 100 people that are all overweight and wanting to get on a diet program, and they're all obviously using different diet programs, there's probably enough programs out there that everybody could be using their own out of those 100 people, right? But that means 90 of them are going to fail, and fail means they didn't lose the weight that they needed to. As little as 1% of the dieters actually keep the weight off. So of that 10%, we'll say that 10% actually reached the target weight that they were shooting for, but only 1% of them is actually going to keep it off. So out of those 100 people, one person breaks through and loses the weight and keeps it off. The other 99 end up right back at square one. Now, why do these diets fail? Most people will stick to diets for a few days or a few weeks. They'll go through the process and they'll be pretty dedicated for a few days and a few weeks, but then they quit. And what we want to get to is what causes people to quit. I mean, obviously, they're not committed enough to do it, right? But that's because the diet itself is discouraging them from keeping on. The diet is not engaging them in such a way that it helps to motivate them and keep them going. One of the most important factors is that most diets don't change our thinking about eating. They don't change, people have a mindset about food in general. And because of that mindset, if we go on a diet, and it does not engage us properly, it doesn't retrain our thinking patterns, then what do? We get discouraged and we go off of the diet. And then we go right, let's say that we do lose the weight. The 10% of the dieters that do get the target weight attained, they reach that goal, but then they didn't change their thinking, so they go right back to the way that things used to be and they gain the weight back again. Now, the danger of this is that every time we fail at a diet, that hurts our psychological makeup. That causes us to get in the position that we feel like a failure. We get discouraged more because, like, if we were to start out overweight and you're discouraged already with that. And then you realize, I want to get this weight off, I want to improve my life, and so you try a diet, and then that diet fails, you're not able to keep it up, you're not able to do it. You now feel like a double failure because you failed at the diet and you're still, you're overweight and you're discouraged about that. Yo-yo dieting is very bad for you, folks. It's bad for your body. Yo-yo dieting is when you try a diet and you do lose some weight and you go off the diet and you gain the weight back. You get discouraged, you try another diet, you lose some weight, and then you get off of that diet and you gain the weight back. Very bad for your body. What we have got to do is address the things that cause us to quit and fail. And the diet that we do, and I use diet in the term of the kinds of food and the way that we eat our food. Okay, diet to most people means, not eating things that you like and counting calories. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about an actual lifestyle eating. With the EODD, every other day diet, you can eat the food that you like. It's just the way, the times that you eat it, and how it is, the game plan that you have. That's a very critical component of all of this. But if we're on a diet and that diet does not address the things that are essential to keep us on that diet, we'll go off the diet and we'll be one of those 99% of people that never gets anywhere. Let's take a look at what diets do work, and that will kind of show us why most diets fail. Diets that work need to be balanced nutritionally. They have to make your body feel good and give you the things that you need. Not so much, most people think, well, I have to cut this out to lose weight. But actually what you have to do is you have to include the key ingredients in order to cause your body to spontaneously desire more food and to burn that food. You have to give your body what it actually needs to work. And that's why most diets fail, because what they do is they try to take away something that somebody believes is causing you to be overweight. But in fact, what we have to do is give the body the necessary ingredients in order to do what it needs to do. Now, another thing related to that is that a successful diet needs to contain the foods that you like. Otherwise, you're not going to stay on it. You have to have the food that your body desires. And what we actually do in the every other day diet is set up a plan so that you're eating and actually encouraged to eat the things that you like. Pizza, hamburgers, even desserts. But it's done in such a way that it actually causes your body to crave other foods and to crave, you mix things up and you do it so much that it causes your body to kick into overdrive and burn the calories that you're consuming. A successful diet plan needs to change your thinking and your eating habits. Now, I'm not talking again about telling you not to eat certain kinds of food. That's not what we're about with the EODD. But a successful diet does need to change your thinking, because we've already established that most people go on a diet, they lose a few pounds, and then they go off the diet, and what happens? They gain it back again, because obviously something inside was not changed. They learn, anybody, you can go out and you can do a diet that causes you to lose weight. I could say right now, I'm just not going to eat for the next 4 days. And I will lose weight. I'll lose a lot of weight. I'll lose muscle. It'll be disastrous. But as soon as I start eating again, I'm going to gain that weight back. You could do the same. I don't care if you're 200 pounds overweight right now. If you stop eating for several days, you're going to lose weight, right? So there's no secret that you can make people lose weight. And all kinds of diets out there that cause people to lose some weight. However, they fail because if somebody's 200 pounds overweight and you get them on this diet and they lose, 5 pounds 1 week, yeah, they're losing weight. But if that diet does not meet their needs nutritionally, if it doesn't have the foods that they like and enjoy, they're not going to stay on the diet. And then they'll get discouraged because they think that, well, I just don't have what it takes to stay on this diet. It lost weight for me, but I can't stay on it. The fact is, the diet wasn't meeting your needs, and that's why you got off of it. That's where the real problem is. So what we have to do is simply change the way that we look at food, look at eating, and that is totally addressed in the every other day diet. And therefore, we can actually continue a process. And it's not something that causes us difficulty where we desire to get off of the diet, but actually we change the way that we're thinking, and we actually enjoy the way that we're eating. A diet that works is going to encourage whole body well-being. That means you're going to use it in conjunction with feeling more fit and going out and being more active. One thing that I stress about the every other day diet, it is not an advocate of going to the gym and spending your whole life there. Not at all. In fact, most people are going to feel very lethargic being overweight. So what actually has to occur here is we have to kick the body into high gear, right, where it starts to consume and produce more energy. And as you get those greater energy levels, you do want to promote, whole body physical well-being, and you will actually find if you're on a diet that's going to work for you, what you're going to find is that you feel better and you have more energy. So if the diet meets all of these needs here, you will want to go out and be more active. Now, what I'd like to do is tomorrow I'm going to send you another email that addresses the secret behind meeting all of these needs. If you can't wait till tomorrow, you might want to get started right away. There's a link to the right of this video. You can click on that and you can go find out some more details. There's even some more videos that you can take a look at there. Thanks a lot for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow.